back.
Yeah, we have Mike, and we also have Gedeon. Gedeon, give us a little recap of who you are real quick. Y'all know your last name? I don't think I do.
Maheux. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a greatly misspelled names. I thank my parents for that. So, yeah, from the Iconfactory, designer, all-around sci-fi fan, and lover of Star Trek and Star Wars.
Thanks for coming back, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun last time. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Don't you all have like a new game or something? Maybe our listeners would be interested in hearing about.
Oh yeah. We just released a really fun pick up and play game called Ollie's Arcade, and that's in the App Store. It's a really ode to classic gaming, like retro gaming. There's a handheld version of Snake. There's a version of Lunar Lander on there. The games are really just like time wasters. If you're in line at the doctor's office or something like that, you can pick up and play. It's really fun. So check it out. Search on the App Store for Ollie's Arcade.
Extremely well done versions of classic.
I gotta pick that up. I didn't know that. That sounds awesome. That's exactly. I stopped playing Marvel Snap finally.
Well, really? Yeah. I kind of fell off that wagon too.
It's just after a year, I was like, I'm done. So I'll pick that up. That sounds good.
A year?
Yeah. Marvel Snap took up way too much time and money, dude. And I kept losing, so I was like, you know what? I'm over this.
Right.
All right. Recap time. Ready?
Yeah, recap.
All right. So we start off. Where did we start off?
We start off
in the Senate
with exactly what I said we would start off with. I said last time, I nailed it. Last time, this next episode, we're going to have to catch the Senate up on what's been going on.
Oh, yeah. So we're at the Senate. Yeah. We're at the Senate, and Hera is being, like, not on trial, but she's being fussed at. And a few people, like, one senator is really getting up her butt. And it's just, like,
Senator
annoying.
Giano or something like that?
He's just really being annoying. And, like, he's one of those senators that I try hearing. If you've never watched a Senate hearing, there's always one guy who just likes to yell. And that's him.
Grandstanding, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody and someone's like, we need to impeach Hera, and she's like, oh no, it was a court martial thing. But then, and listen, I've never been a fan of this dude, but when I heard that little squeaky voice and saw the gold shell, I was like, you know what? Bring him out. Bring him in. And it was C-3PO. I was like, you know what? I'm here. I am here for C-3PO and his little squirky voice. Like, his arms barely move. I will be here for this because I really enjoyed it. And I loved how Senator Leia kind of showed up and was like, oh, yeah, I sanctioned this one. I forgot to tell you guys. I sanctioned Hera's mission. We're all good. And, of course, they didn't until after the fact. What I thought was really interesting about that, as a side note, is whatever they've got planned for Star Wars moving forward, they really are kind of leaning into the Leia-Luke kind of deal. And I love Leia being kind of like in the shadows doing stuff. And hopefully, I don't know if they're going to do recast, which I think they should do, but I wouldn't mind seeing
I don't know, man.
We'll talk about that some other time. But then we get a kind of a movement towards Sabine and Ezra.
Hey, so Senator Giano, he's definitely an Imperial loyalist, right?
I don't know.
He's got to be.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
He's too quick to protest.
He may be. That's a good point.
Yeah. Along with that other woman. The other woman's definitely one too. But
I don't want theory crap.
She wasn't in this episode.
It's all going to work stuff out. And then we get Ezra and Sabine, and they're talking with the Ninja Turtles, and they're kind of hanging out. And then we've got Baylan and Shin, and they're like, Baylan's like, listen, I want you to tell the Thar where they are because I'm about to peace out and do some weird stuff. And
he's like, hey, Shin Hati, you're getting kicked out of the nest. You need to go fly on your own.
Did you call her Shin Hati?
Yeah, that's how people are pronouncing it.
Dude, I'm not in. Okay.
Hati, right. Hati, H-A-T-I.
There's too many people on the internet who love that girl. I don't know really why. It's kind of confusing.
I just think she's got a cool look to her, but you know how people on the internet are
she has a European I haven't eaten or seen sun in 10 years look. I don't know when are the nerds going to stop liking that.
Speaking of the look, I love the look that she gave Baylan when he told her that he wasn't going to help.
Right.
She was all like, "Oh my god, you guys have to fight these people."
Lots of side eye. Yep.
And then we get a little side place where Ahsoka is kind of training, and she has like a video of Anakin kind of talking to her, and we realize that we kind of get some backstory about how she misses him, and they got some emotions there, which I thought was good. Man, this is so happy.
That's probably the first time she's pulled up one of those training videos in quite a while.
Yeah. And then the space whales come out of Space Zoom, and they
hey, Star Whales,
and the Star Whales hit a mine. It's a minefield in space, and it's really cool looking. It's a really cool looking minefield, and they explode, and like Ahsoka comes out the whale's mouth, and the whales disappear. And
mines are was it a war crime in our world?
Yeah, they're. I'm sure it's the war crime.
I guess the Empire's down for war crimes.
We're in a galaxy far, far away, so you can get away with a lot.
This is 2 galaxies far, far away now.
Yeah. So anyway, we got space stuff, space fighting, zoom, 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 and we got Thrawn being like a military strategist.
Oh, the sound effects came back.
And then what else? What happened? And then like the witches find where Ahsoka's hiding. Now, listen, this recap's taking it's making me winded. There's a lot that happened this episode. And then we get a lightsaber fight between Baylan and Ahsoka, and then we get some Imperial troops, and then we see Ezra as Jedi Jesus. He doesn't need a lightsaber. He's doing all kind of cool stuff like that. And we get Sabine, and she's doing some fighting stuff. And then what else? I think that's it. And then they leave. Yeah, that's it.
Ahsoka showed up and saved the day.
Yeah, Ahsoka showed up and saved the day. Man, this episode was packed. It was more packed than I thought. There was a lot of stuff happened.
There was a lot that went on. Yep.
Didn't last episode we complained about how slow paced it was? It wasn't slow paced this week.
No, this one was not slow paced, and I will kind of eat my words and say that. I said last time, or I think I said last time, that everyone keeps saying, "Oh, this was the best episode yet." Well, I think this really was the best episode yet. Like, it moved along, and it actually had stuff happen in it. And I wish they had all been like this one.
Yeah, no doubt.
This one was exciting, and it went by really quickly, and it moved. I really enjoyed this one a lot.
Still had problems with it, but this is definitely, I think, the most well-paced episode out of the series so far.
I agree with the pacing. I think this was more of a typical pacing than the other episodes. I like the slow pace of the other episodes. I thought they allowed me to breathe a little bit and kind of get to know the characters. But I think the show has done what it needs to do. It's set the stage. We know the characters. We have a very strong familiarity with everybody involved, even Ezra, which is kind of odd. We don't need to be slow anymore, and we need to have some kind of sense of urgency. And I think that this episode really did that and did it well. And I mean, all the players were involved, right? We got the stormtroopers, we got Thrawn being a military strategist, we got Ahsoka, and I love the idea that Thrawn and Ahsoka are going to be doing a little chess match. I really like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing more Thrawn in the future doing that. I'm really into that.
I do like how basically the entire episode, what is his name? Thrawn. There's an R in there, Jay. Thrawn.
Have I been mispronouncing it?
Yeah, you keep saying Thrawn.
Yeah.
Thrawn. It's Thrawn. Yeah, there's an R in there.
Okay, whatever.
He's basically just playing the clock the whole episode. And Morgan Elsbeth is getting frustrated, and she's all kinds of wrong the whole episode. Everything she's saying is wrong. I'm wondering when he's going to ditch her. It seems like she's outlived her usefulness.
Yeah, I don't know. Gideon, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff there that I think that the villains are kind of now they're definitely working against each other, between Baylan ditching his apprentice and Thrawn.
And Thrawn definitely calls that out, but dude, you were going to kill them, so why are you worried that he didn't show up to the fight?
Yeah, right. Kind of weird going on there, but again, I mean, we need to talk about that. Why did he do that? Why did he bow out of the fight? Why did he insist that the apprentice contact and give Ezra's coordinates, there's something going on there, and it wasn't just to encounter Ahsoka. There's something else going on, and
I don't think he wanted to encounter Ahsoka. I think that was just something that happened, and
Right,
if he
right.
could have avoided it, he would have. I think once he got to this planet, his goal is whatever his goal's been all along. And I was hoping we'd find.
We have no
I mean,
idea.
we heard what his goal was last time. We heard his overall goal, but we don't know the details of how he's going to carry it out. And I was hoping we'd get some of that this episode.
I want to kind of theory craft this, guys, if you don't mind.
Okay. I'm ready for it.
I don't like to do it, but here's the deal. Can we all agree that Thrawn is going to make it to the Star Wars galaxy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We all agree.
Yeah. He most certainly will.
And he's going to be in the upcoming movie that they're doing.
What's in there is some undead troops or something like that. There's some kind of undead troops.
They died. They died in this episode, and there was no green smoke. So
no. The cargo that he's transporting are some kind of warriors or troops,
right?
That we're going to have to deal with. Because here's the problem: Star Wars has a real problem that they do not talk about. What's the coolest thing about Star Wars? The Force and lightsabers, right? Done. And so
not stormtroopers.
No, Mike. No.
Everybody likes stormtroopers.
You have to figure out a way in Star Wars to have lightsaber duels. And they did a very good job with the prequels and with the original series because you had the Sith versus the Jedi.
On the other hand, the best Star Wars ever was Andor, and there were 0 lightsabers in that entire series.
Well, I haven't watched it yet, so it doesn't exist. I'm like a 12.
Yeah, I mean, it's like right up there with Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it maybe soon. Yeah. My wife's going to a conference sometime, so I'll be bored and watch it. But
we're going to watch it together, and we're going to talk about it.
We don't watch TV together. We don't watch TV. Oh, we are going to watch it together. Okay, that's good. Yeah. But Star Wars has a real problem. The Sith are gone, right? And so who do you have to do lightsaber duels with? So we have to figure out how to do that. I think whatever's in that cargo hold is going to be the physical external antagonist for the Jedi. And there's not many Jedi around. You got Luke, you got Leia, and you've got Ahsoka and a few others. But
you think it's going to be like Ghost Sith?
I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something to have to fight. So it makes a complete. That's the only thing that can be in there is something to fight.
Yeah, someone online. I watched a couple YouTube videos with fan theories, and for the most part, those things don't pan out. I have to say, people really overthink them a lot. But one of the fan theories was that those
you got to fill that YouTube time.
Yeah, totally got to fill the YouTube time. But one of the theories was that they're actually they're the dead bodies of actual witches that they're bringing back, and they're going to reanimate them. But in the same breath that they suggested that, they also suggested that the Dark Troopers were undead and zombie troopers, and they were not. They were real. They were just normal stormtroopers, and they got shot and they died. They didn't go up in puffs of smoke. They didn't break out of their costumes and be all gory underneath their armor. So, that fan theory disappeared. The whole fan theory with Martok or Marok or whatever his name was, they didn't have any clue who he was when he...
Yeah, they got that right. They got that wrong twice on both sides of the coin.
Yeah. So I don't put much stock in those fan theories.
Me neither. They're fun to kind of talk about, but no, at a certain point, it's just people yap. All right, so let's talk about the episode. The thing that impressed me most about this episode, besides the cool fight and stuff like that, was how I think the show is really going to just with the Sabine thing. I think they're just going to allow Ahsoka to forgive Sabine. And I was on the metro coming home from work today. And I was thinking, you know what? If my wife got entangled with space whales and got zapped to another galaxy, and then 10 years or so later, someone's like, hey, we know a way for you to go find her, I would do it. And I think we're being too hard on Sabine. I really do. And I know that sounds crazy, but at a certain point, Ezra's alive. They found him, So
what if in rescuing your wife, you also rescue Hitler?
Well, I guess Hitler is saved, and my wife's with me. So, but I'm serious. Like, I mean, at a certain point,
Yeah.
we're being too hard on her. She really cares about this dude, and it's worked out so far. I mean, yeah, Thrawn might come back to the galaxy and wage war, and that could be some of Sabine's responsibility. But who knows? Who knows if he might have been able to come back anyway without that space map and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Maybe Huang was right all along.
I'm just being less hard on Sabine. I love the actress.
I still don't like her.
I love the actress.
She's very frustrating in this episode again.
What was frustrating about it? What did she do?
She has time to catch Ezra up on the entire original trilogy of Star Wars, but doesn't tell him about, hey, there's 2 dark Jedi that are coming after us. Thrawn is here and he's looking for us. He actually set me free and had me come find you. Oh, gee, I wonder if he's going to be following me. None of that. By the way, I think that Ahsoka is dead.
Yeah.
None of that. But she catches him up on the entire original trilogy of Star Wars.
That wasn't ideal. And I don't know, from a storytelling standpoint, I don't know why, when they were writing the script, that they thought that was a good idea to do. I don't get that, but whatever.
A lot of times in drama like this, conflict arises when characters don't talk to each other.
That is it's my least favorite plot device.
They don't communicate, or they hold things back, or they conceal things from each other, and then complications arise, and it's like smart people, normal people actually just want to volunteer that information and they want to get it out, and blah blah blah. So that's why it feels frustrating. I totally get that. I totally understand that part of it.
Remember when nothing, every movie that Sandra Bullock was in, that was the main plot? She just had a string of movies where the plot was people aren't telling people things that they should be telling them.
Why are we talking about Sandra Bullock?
I'm just talking about that plot device. I hate it. And she had a string of movies that were like that, and I avoided seeing every single one of them.
You don't really have a lot of choices with storytelling. I think that the script for this was a little lazy as far as keeping secrets from Ezra. But I mean, if I was Ezra, I would demand to know how the hell we're leaving.
Right? Right.
Yes.
How did you get here? That's probably how we're gonna leave.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But but then Sabine has to tell him what all this happened, and he probably would be very upset about it. So.
And that's it. I want to ask you guys about this. I'm still kind of confused on how they're going to get back, because the ship, the hyperspace ring ship, isn't big enough to hold the Star Destroyer. Is he just going to load all of his troops into the ring ship and they're going to go? Is he going to abandon his Star Destroyer? He just moved all that cargo on there. So what, they're going to take time to transfer it? No. Are they going to dock the
Does regular hyperspace jumping not work?
It would take too long.
Distance, or
it would take thousands of years, probably.
You can't go faster than light. Are they going faster?
Oh yeah, they're going. They're
going way faster. They're going way faster than light. That's
that was the whole premise of that ship, was that it had 10 hyperspace engines, and it was gigantic, and it could go. Yeah. It had the ability to jump between galaxies. So his Star Destroyer absolutely does not.
The Star Destroyer is probably going to link up with that hyperspace ring and then take off. That's why.
Maybe the ring is big enough to encircle the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to fit right. It's going to fit like a glove. And I guess for Ahsoka,
it'll dock into those 2 notches that are destroyed on the Star Destroyer.
Yeah. That's what I've always assumed. And I always assume that the way they're going to get back is to stow away on the Star Destroyer. Maybe the plan is to kill everybody and take the Star Destroyer. I don't know. That's a really good question.
He's almost done loading the Star Destroyer, so they don't have much time.
Well, they got the whales. They can just jump into a whale's mouth, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's happening in the finale. They're not going to spend more time in the finale, actually traveling back from where they are now.
Let's wait for the whales what is it, like an annual, or, well, there's no annual in the space, but like wait for their migratory patterns to take them back to the other galaxy.
Now they're all going back together, and they're all going in the ring ship or something like that. That's what's happening. But I do agree with you. You said earlier that we can all agree that he's getting back, and I do think that's the case, because they wouldn't have had the scene with the Senate and the additional warning about Thrawn if they weren't going to get back. They need to have that scene now where, Thrawn is here, and Hera was right all along, and all of you people are fools for not listening to her earlier.
Do we get another Senate scene in the final episode?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so you've come around to my side now. Okay.
Well, listen, Gideon,
you said like a few episodes ago, you said we were done with those people.
I was wrong, Mike. I was wrong. I was wrong about a lot of things. But Gideon, do you know the guy?
I've got to rub it in whenever I get something right.
Who's the showrunner's name? What's his name?
Dave
Filoni.
This dude is so smart. Like, he's created the Senate politics from the prequels that are fascinating. He's brought back a lot of elements from the new movies, and like, once this thing is set, we're talking about a galactic size conflict that happens between the end of Return of the Jedi and the first sequel movie. What's it called?
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens. And like, that's a long time for them to have a lot of cool things happen, and I am excited about this. Like, I am so stoked for a movie about all this kind of stuff, and to see where they go. It is so smart for them to make this universe at this time, because we've always wondered what happened after Return of the Jedi, and now we get to see it, and it's going to be so good. And I am hooked on it. I'm the more I watch Ahsoka, the more I understand what they're trying to do. And just think about the other infrastructure, like the Mandalorian shows, like Boba Fett, even though it wasn't good, but still it's there, right? Like, they have so much resources to tell stories now. It's like they took the Marvel MCU blueprint, developed it in a better way, and now look what they have. I'm just kind of scared they'll mess it up. But how do you mess up something like this? A 2-year-old could write that movie, right? Like, it's easy.
Well, we know that Thrawn isn't around at the time of The Force Awakens. Mm-hmm. So something happens between, I'm making an assumption, but we haven't seen Thrawn in those additional sequels. So you have to assume that he's not around. And it's not the Empire, it's the First Order. So if Thrawn had his way, he would reinstate the Empire.
Yeah.
So something has happened between now and then where he's out of the picture. But I mean, there's a big story to tell there, and we need to find out what happened and who took him down, and what the whole deal with the rebellion, the quote unquote rebellion in the New Republic, and how they fought him. There's a lot of opportunities for exciting stories there.
Agree. Mike, how are you feeling about this, Mike? You've always kind of been a little bit hedgy about this whole thing. Are you feeling better? Or are you feeling?
I'm definitely feeling better. I'm definitely feeling better after this episode. We rate things here. I think this episode's like maybe B+, A- for me.
Yeah, A- for me.
The only reason I'm going to make this an A- or a B+ is I was a little let down by the fight between Baylan and Ahsoka. I was hoping for it to be a real cool, super like this. I'm awesome.
I kind of like that. It wasn't, because neither one of them wants to have that fight.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, and from Ahsoka's standpoint, like that's not what's important. What's important is getting back to him and getting out of here. That's a good point.
Right.
And like,
I did enjoy the fight with Ezra and Sabine.
Yeah, let's talk about Jedi. Let's talk about Jedi Jesus. I love this. Did you guys play? Do you guys remember? Of course, you played Star Wars: The Old Republic. What was it called?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes, of course you played that.
Yeah, I did play that.
That's so good. Do you remember in Knights of the Old Republic the Jedi who was he blind or was he old? But he was like a neutral force. He wasn't good or bad. he hooked up with your team at some point. I've always been fascinated by the Jedi, people who are Force sensitive, who are connected to the Force, but aren't Jedis or don't like carry a lightsaber or something like that. And I like the fact that they kind of plugged Ezra into this. He's like, I don't want your lightsaber. I don't need it. I have the Force is with me, and I really like the idea that he's going to be like different in that regard. Like I'm going to be like a Jedi shaman type of deal.
Yeah, he's just doing like a Force kata.
Yeah, and it looked good. It looked really cool. I mean, when he blocked that lightsaber, that was awesome. That was great. It looked really good. And he was
does a leg sweep, Force leg sweep.
Yeah, he was strong with it too. So I was kind of like, we're going to see him again, right? He's not just going to go away.
Oh yeah, I would assume he's back. He's going back to the galaxy with the rest of the team, and he'll probably be in stories from now on.
Man, I don't like the fact that I'm getting all addicted to this stuff. It's really getting into my soul. It's like, I haven't been this excited about Star Wars in a very long time. I can't remember the last time. When Star Wars got re-released in the theaters back in the early 2000s was the last time I was super stoked about Star Wars.
Yeah. Ezra has really piercing blue eyes. It's like,
yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. Holy cow. I was like, wow. He had some stares there where it was just like,
were they like that in the cartoons, or is this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But this, I guess, is on another level just because it's live action.
Yeah, it was crazy. I noticed that too.
Yeah,
I like that actor as him though. He's doing a good job.
Yeah,
as Ezra.
I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to, but he's very charismatic.
Yes.
So So Gideon, as our resident rebel kind of expert, how do you feel about this episode? Do you think it kind of represented the rebels pretty good? Do you feel like that it's like you feel secure about the future of it?
Yes, I think. I mean, there were a few mentions of other Rebels characters. When Sabine was talking to Ezra, she filled him in on what Zeb was doing and Hera was doing and all of that. So that was a nice little Rebels nod.
Zeb's training people, right? That's what he's.
Yeah, Zeb was training New Republic pilots and things. He was in The Mandalorian in that brief scene in The Mandalorian. I was hoping
in the bar. He was in the
in the bar. I was hoping we'd see him again in this, but I guess not. We're not going to see him here. But
maybe he'll welcome them when they come back to the galaxy.
That would be cool. That'd be great to get like a little reunion of all of the rebels together at one point at the very, very end, or something like that, where they all get together and they can hug and they all say hi to each other, and finally
standing in front of that mural that
the mural
Sabine painted, or Ezra painted, whoever, right?
Fans would go crazy for that.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I have a good feeling that might happen.
Yeah, man. I don't know why, but I am into what they're doing with this, and I'm just kind of. They have to land the ship. I mean, next episode has to be perfect. Otherwise it's gonna be a lot of complaining. But other than that, I'm into this. I'm pretty good with it right now.
There's a lot
Mary
that has
Elizabeth
to happen in that episode. I don't understand how they're going to get it all into, unless this last episode.
I mean, it might have as big of a cliff. I mean, it's going to have as big of a cliffhanger as the recent Spider-Verse movie had. It's just no way around it.
No, well, I hope it's not a cliffhanger.
It's going to be bigger than that. I mean,
it's going to be a cliffhanger.
Because they're coming back to the galaxy, and now we have this new threat.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an even bigger cliffhanger than the new Spider-Verse movie.
Are we getting a cliffhanger? Is that what I got to deal with? I guess so.
I mean, it's unavoidable.
I wasn't planning on it.
Do you guys watch Star Trek Strange New Worlds?
Oh, yeah, baby.
No.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Gideon, if you want to, I will do a Star Trek podcast with you, and we can leave Mike out of it.
Yeah, Star Trek's my thing. That's my real love. I'm first and foremost a Star Trek fan. I've been all my life, and I know it like the back of my hand, and much more than Star Wars. I can talk about Star Trek till the cows come home. So,
hey, Gideon, you have two Star Trek Trekkies on the pod right now, so we'll just get Mike to just get on board and ride the train to podcast Star Trek land.
Is there a new series coming out sometime soon or something?
Oh, Mike, you have so much to learn, my young Padawan, about Star Trek. It's gonna be so much fun.
Make it so.
All right, so let's wrap up a little bit. as far as next, let's talk about the last episode. Next episode.
Yeah.
What needs to happen to make you satisfied? Like, what needs to happen in the last episode to make you feel good about what happened? Mike, you go first.
All right. I need resolution with Balin Skull.
Yeah.
We know that Ray Stevenson, unfortunately, he died early, and unexpectedly after wrapping the show. I don't know if they've done anything, like if his arc was wrapped up to begin with, or if they've done anything after the fact to try to tie it off. But I know we're gonna have a huge cliffhanger. I think getting resolution with his character and what his goals are could be a good way to offset that. So you still feel some a climax where a conclusion happens within the next episode, even though we know we're going to have that huge cliffhanger with Thrawn coming back to the galaxy. That's what I need.
What about you, Gideon?
I agree with that. I mean, really curious to find out what happens with him and his character and the apprentice too. I really thought that duel between the two of them in this episode was going to end with her defeating him, but it didn't happen that way. And so something's going to have to happen in this next one. So I agree with Mike on that. Also, I really want to see Thrawn get back to the main galaxy. I want him to be the threat that he was in the books, that everyone knows him to be and feared. All of that is satisfying, and fans want it, and they need a good villain. And that's not Palpatine to root for, in the Star Wars universe. And so, if Thrawn does come back, then we all get to tell all those jerky senators, we told you so. You didn't listen. Mm-hmm. Here's the threat. And now we have to reform the Republic a little bit and face this threat.
We need to have an internal investigation to root out the Imperial loyalists within the Senate.
They're doing some of that in Andor. They were doing some of that. So
but that's like earlier than this, right? That was before way earlier,
But to tap onto that, Gideon, like the thing about Star Wars we don't talk about much is how unstable the government actually is. Like at the beginning of The Force Awakens, they destroy how many planets? Of a government. And so it's like, I think that's what makes Star Wars cool, is the unstable government function of it. And I think hopefully the ideas that we're talking about, the creative team understands. From my standpoint, I will not be satisfied with the show unless Sabine and Ahsoka come to some kind of agreement. And I think I will be super stoked if Sabine has this nice arc where she's like, listen, I want to train to be a Jedi. I want to do it the right way. It could be that she gives it up, but I don't think she will. I think by the end of the episode, the Sabine will be the force that be the Jedi in training that we kind of look forward to seeing. But it might not go that way. She might decide she doesn't want to do it anymore. Osaka might feel good about that. I don't know, but I won't feel satisfied until that arc is clipped up.
It's interesting, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like they're ready for that. Maybe they are. Maybe they
I
are.
don't care. Figure it out. Be ready for it.
No, I mean like Ahsoka and Sabine, the characters. Are they ready for that?
Well, I mean, come on. Ahsoka's thinking about her former master, right? She's thinking about Anakin, and Sabine is her apprentice. I don't think Ahsoka's doing a very good job being her master. So maybe at the end of this, they kind of work it out or figure out something about it. But I don't know. But it's I can't describe how satisfied I've been with Ahsoka. Like, I liked the last season of Mandalorian a lot. And I even, the Star Trek Discovery last season I thought was great. Star Trek Strange New Worlds last season was fantastic. But this is something that I loved this. I loved it. I love the fact that I have a Disney Plus subscription because just of the show and what they're doing moving forward. So it's sold me pretty well. I didn't know I was going to like this show as much as I did.
I can't wait until you and I watch Andor.
Okay. We'll watch it soon.
You keep saying that you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
We'll watch it soon. Yeah. All right, let's wrap up. I got some news you can abuse. You guys ready?
Oh yeah. Hit it.
It's not that much. It's just two things. First, last episode, a couple episodes ago, Mike and I were very excited that The Marvels was going to be a 90-minute movie. We were super stoked. Apparently, we don't know if that's true. The theaters have the 2 hour and 20 minute runtime.
What?
There's another one that says it's 2 hours long, so we don't know how long it is. I hope that they keep that hour and a half runtime. That is the perfect time for a movie for people over the age of 30. The older you are, the less you want to sit in the theater for 2 hours and watch a movie. It's just like, oh gosh, this is the worst. Like my mom, God bless her soul, she did not go to a movie theater after she turned 50. And I always wondered why. And now I realize, I was like, why do I want to leave the house? It's like, and if I do, how long do I have to stay gone? So that's one. Next, so that's some interesting Echo news. So Echo is one of the characters from Hawkeye.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, please be good.
Her show comes out January 24th.
All right.
It is confirmed that the Kingpin will be in it, and it is also confirmed now that Daredevil will also be in it.
Are they dropping it all at once still?
I don't know. But with the writers strike is over, and I think that the actors strike is going to be over by next week. And everything will get back on track, and so we can start actually looking forward to some stuff coming out. Shout out to the writer's strike. Congratulations, guys, that worked out.
It sounds like they got almost everything they were asking for.
Really impressed with that. They did a great job holding out and getting what they wanted. They deserve it.
And side note, for our Marxists on the podcast, we have an auto strike going up, and there's a new strike that just got announced. I forget who it is. I forget who they are. I forget what they're doing.
I haven't heard about
it. It's a whole new strike that's supposed to be starting up like next week. So power to the people for real. This is starting to snowball, which is good. Anyway, Gedeon, thank you very much, man. Can you be here next week? Can you wrap it up with us next week?
I can try. Yeah, I would like to do that. I'd like to get our concluding thoughts down because we watched the last few together and see how it turns out. I'm curious to see if our predictions pan out. I doubt they will. Maybe they will in some little ways or something like that.
Well, I mean, we all know that he's coming back to the galaxy, so there's an easy prediction.
Yeah, he's going to come back, and it's going to be the dun 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 music, and he's going to be walking towards something, and it's going to be amazing. I mean, it's going to be absolutely the most obnoxious return of the villain we've seen in a long time. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, Mike, how can you share with our listeners that Gedeon will be back for the final episode, that we have a guest star for an episode after that Loki season 2 is just around the corner, and we're going to nail that. The Marvels is coming out pretty soon. We got just when you think it's over, just when you think we're going to run out of things to talk about, we find new things to talk about. How can people share with their friends the podcast?
Hit the share button right now. Share it with your friends. Share it with your families, your group chats, your coworkers, your neighborhood watch. Just share it. There's star buttons you can hit. Star buttons may mean love or favorite. Who knows? Hit them. There's a thumbs up button somewhere. Tap that. Just do it all. Write a review. Tell people about it.
Wait,
that's it.
Did you say neighborhood watch?
I did. I've got to add something new every week. Yeah, neighborhood watch.
Do you have a neighborhood watch, Mike?
I do not have a neighborhood watch. No.
I think if we live together or live near, I would totally want to start a neighborhood watch.
Man, that would be cool.
With baseball bats.
We could get berets.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that would be cool. I would like that.
This garden in the neighborhood. That'd be fun.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, we'll see everyone next week for the finale. I think this is going to be a 2-hour episode.
Now, Jay, you and I committed to live posting the finale episode on Mastodon.
All right, okay. All right, yeah, we'll figure out a time that we can do it.
Well, the time is 9:00 next Tuesday. So
God.
That's set. Yeah.
Did I agree to this?
You did agree to it. Otherwise, it's not live.
Oh Lord. Okay.
We've got to figure out, like, are we going to do a hashtag or something like that?
We'll do a hashtag. We'll do it. I'll do it. Hey, I haven't done a live tweet in a long time. The last thing I live tweeted was a stupid movie my friend made me do. But yeah, I'll dust off the keyboard. We'll do it. That sounds fun.
Yeah, live posting doesn't have the same ring as live tweeting, but
it's fine.
Yeah, we're doing something.
Even the word "tweet's" dead, right? It's live X.
Yeah, it's an X now.
So weird.
Live X. That live X sounds.
Oh my god!
Nasty. Yeah.
Let's not even get into that.